This one I'd like to thank Brandon from the USA for helping me go over some of the content and ensure that I get the wording correct, because it could be very easily put down wrong, and what I'm wanting to say could come across wrong. So thanks, Brandon. G'day guys, it's Calvin, Coaching Company New Zealand. I'm at it again, and I'm going to test some of these AI search engines, chatbots, whatever you want to call them. A little bit of cognitive bias in here as well, so I am testing some of the stuff I already know. Let's have a look at this. I asked, did the LS430 have any forms of AI technology? Said a whole lot of stuff, but basically it says no, it didn't have any AI technology in it. Okay, cool. Are we going to believe that? And it does come down to our definition of AI. Okay, now watch this. I'll see if this one's going to do it. Please explain the AI shift fitted to the 2004 to 2006 Lexus LS430. Now it's just told us that there was no AI in the Lexus. Okay, there's no AI. And I'm just going to ask about the AI shift. Let's see what comes back. And come on, let me go all the way down. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. See, the cutoff is September 2021. There was no specific AI shift feature associated with the 2004-2006 LS430. The LS430 of that period did not have an advanced AI-based shift system. No, it actually had a very primitive one, but it's still an AI. Okay, and it says about blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, again, let's have a look at the Bing. Now, I asked the same questions. Did the LS430 have any form of AI technology? It said, pretty much, it did not have any as we understand it today. And this one's really good at saying, hey, maybe it's like this, but if I'm wrong, it's possibly like that over there. Same question. Please explain the Toyota AI shift as fitted to the LS430. Oh, look, and that actually brings up was a feature that was fitted to the LS430 and the 6-speed transmissions. Based on the inputs, the AI shift can adjust the shift timing, lockout control to suit different driving scenarios such as uphill driving, cornering, or overtaking. It learned how the driver drove the vehicle and adjusted the shift patterns to suit. Now, to me, that sounds like a primitive form of AI back in 2003. But they both say there was no AI as we know it today. One says, yes, there is a feature available. One says there's not a feature available. Just to back it up, guys, just to show that I'm not talking through a hole in my head. And actually, Josh brought it up in the video where we talked to the USA repairer of these ECUs. We've got this document here. The ECT, electronically controlled automatic transmission, is an automatic transmission that is electronically controls shift timing using the ECM. You could call it a TCU or TCM. The ECM, it's all in the ECM though, it's a combined unit. Detects electrical signals that indicate engine and driving conditions, control shift points based on driver habits and road conditions. That's important because it's learning how the driver's driving and the road conditions that you're in. As a result, fuel efficiency and power transmission performance are improved. Shift shock has been reduced by controlling the engine and transmission simultaneously. That's just a normal control of most transmissions. In addition, the ECU features such as follows: diagnostic function, fail-safe function when a malfunction occurs. Okay, a little bit there. Let's go over here to one of the fail-safe chart. And for the input speed sensor, look at this. During an input speed sensor malfunction upshift and the fifth upshift to the 5th and 6th, AI shift, there's a little asterisk in number 1, and flex lockup clutch control are prohibited. And again, P500, AI shift, it's mentioned, AI shift, or artificial intelligence shift. Primitive, but I still take that as being AI, artificial intelligence shift control. In addition to switching of the shift pattern through the pattern select switch, the AI shift control enables the ECM to estimate the road conditions and the driver's intention in order to automatically select the optimal shift pattern. As a result, a comfortable ride has been realized. It's very primitive, but it's learning the driver's driving habits. And in fact, this isn't the only car that had that sort of stuff in it at around about that era. We've been having this AI stuff in our cars for a lot longer than people realise. Of course, infancy, but we're still in the infancy now when you look at the overall evolution of this technology, this being, whatever we want to call it. Right, cool as. That was really interesting. Right, I've just asked it to clarify between AI shift and artificial intelligence. And again, it's brought up as we know it today. It's used this term, as we know it today. And there may be some correctness in that. But of course, I would still argue that 2003, for a machine to detect driving styles and alter the shift patterns within that based on the drivers, within the confines that it was allowed at that point in time, that it was a very, very early form of artificial intelligence, which is what Toyota called it. And at that time, it was quite revolutionary. Of course, it's not as of today's standards as we know it today, but I still see it as a learning curve and a learning being, as if we want to call it a being. And that's what it was designed to do. Was it just a set of programs and a set of algorithms? Well, isn't that what AI kind of is in many ways? They're still putting limits on where that learning can and can't go, and often it hits those boundaries, not in the way that a human would, where a human would hits boundaries by making mistakes or crossing those boundaries and then being reeled back in by society. In the car, of course, primitive AI, I'm going to claim it's still an AI. Hey, others, of course, you can argue that it isn't. Great discussion. Great technology, though. And this is one of the differences and one of the things of why, differences between the 5-speed and the 6-speed. 6-speed do drive very, very nice. And, another car, actually. I've got a Subaru. And they had a similar form. Now, my Subaru is actually a 2009 Outback, and they had the SI shift. Okay, again, deemed at that time as a form of intelligence to monitor and alter the shift patterns of the transmission and the way the car handles and drives, or the way the car performs, based on driver input and the computer learning the driving habits of the occupants or the driver of the motor vehicle, the person in control. Again, I would still claim that it is a early form of artificial intelligence, but as maybe not in the way we know it today. That's just like saying, though, that a Model T Ford is not a car as we know it today. We had to have the Model T to have the late model cars. We had to move through that technology. It's like saying Nokia brick is not a cell phone as we know it today because we've got smartphones, which are making people dumber. But it's not the same technology as we know it today. No, it isn't. But was it a phone? Yes, it was. Great discussion. I'd love to hear what people think. I'm not going to keep searching other things on this tonight because it is fascinating to see the differences in answers between the two. Okay, so we've got one that's saying that AI shift didn't exist, one saying that it did exist. One saying it's not a form of artificial intelligence, but Toyota listed it, or Lexus listed it in their repair manual at that time as an artificial intelligence. Right, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Is it AI? Is it just fuzzy logic? Is it the beginnings, infancy of AI more than just a marketing gimmick? Did we need to have this technology to breed into or to transform into what we have now? So it's not what we've got today, but it was in fact an AI. Also, fuzzy logic's the building blocks of AI. Lots of things. I tend to think that it is actually a very, very early primitive form, but I can flip a coin and it's like 49%, 51%. It's right on that cusp. Love to hear your thoughts. We'll chat in the comments. Talk to you later.